I think I'm hot on the trail of an egg.
Hell yeah. We're hot on the trail of an egg. Welcome back to On the Shelf Gaming.
Yeah.
We're ready to destroy those eggs.
Hell yeah, I want mine scrambled.
Hell yeah.
Now tell your other story, brother.
All right, bro. So, as I casually mentioned last time, we flew in for our vacation in Virginia.
Yes.
On the day the storm came in.
Right. Great timing as always.
Yeah, for sure.
The shelf way.
Hell yeah, abort those eggs.
Hell yeah, abortion.
It gets funnier every time. So, of course, in the days leading up, we're like, are we going to get to go? Are we not going to get to go? Who fucking knows?
Right.
We don't until it actually happens.
There was a bunch of delays like that day.
Yeah.
Like I remember I went to lunch with you guys and you were already looking at like a 1 hour delay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't we weren't even 5 hours to when you were supposed to be there. Well,
and luckily, that was the only delay for our flight specifically.
Right. Other flights, not so lucky.
Yeah.
But fuck those guys.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about those flights. My flight made it. But we get to the airport. We have to hang out for a super long fucking time. But, we make it no problem. And we make plans because we already know before we leave from the local airport that they weren't going to be able to come out and get us because they couldn't leave their house.
Right.
Because of the weather. And so I was like, no problem. We sort everything out. We get a hotel booked at the other airport. Not at the airport, but, right next to the airport, basically.
Right.
And we get transportation to their hometown sorted out. We are going to take the megabus.
Okay.
And so we're all good to go. So flight leaves not as originally scheduled, but as scheduled after the delay one time, no problem. We get to the other airport, and there is a plane in the gate we were supposed to go into. Now, when you land in the plane, if it lands on the ground at, fucking 5 p.m., you're not in the airport at 5:01.
Right, you gotta sit there.
Usually 10-ish minutes before people start being able to get off. Plus however long it takes for them to get to you, which I'm cheap, so I usually sit towards the back, which means I'm going to sit there for quite a while waiting on other people to get off before I can get out.
Right.
But because this other plane is in the gate, they have to find another gate, which they eventually do. So it took roughly an hour longer than it normally would have before we were off the plane.
Oh, goody.
And the gate that we ended up at was not... because we flew American, which is who I've flown every time, just because they're the easiest way to go. As far as cost versus not being Spirit Airlines.
Right. I prefer Alaska, personally, but they're a bit pricey.
So, we're fine. And we already knew, because when it was originally scheduled to get there, I think was like 10 p.m. And so they delayed it almost a full hour. And then by the time we got into the airport, it was like 12:15 or something.
Right.
And so, of course, we're like, damn, we're tired, because we've been up all day.
Yeah, as you do.
We spent a bunch of time at the airport. And, on the plane, where normally I would have slept most of the time, we talked about stuff for a bunch of the time.
Right.
So I don't remember if Crandon slept at all, but I didn't sleep at all on the way there. So I'm fucking exhausted, and Crandon is right there with me.
Right.
And no problem. All we got to do is get Crandon's bag, and then call the airport, because they've got, or not the airport, call the hotel, because they have a shuttle bus that comes to the airport on demand. Well, it was a little more difficult to get Crandon's bag than expected because of the other issues.
Right.
But it's fine. By like 12:30-ish, we had Crandon's bag. We're good to go. Call the hotel. And apparently, I don't know if it's just what they always do, because literally their thing says that it's basically always available on demand. But as described, it was just being sent out periodically, which is fine. That also works. But they're like, okay, go to this place, and it'll come and pick you up.
Right.
And so we go to one of those two places, which we find no problem. She was like, the lady from the hotel was like, should be there in like 20 minutes. Okay, no problem. So we go to the place.
Right.
We get to the place with still like 10, 15 minutes to spare. So we're good.
Right.
And we wait and wait and wait. And it doesn't show. And, the 20 minutes is well past. And it's like, well, it's supposed to go to 2B, which would be the first place to go, and then to 2G, which is where we were. So it's like, maybe it'll take a little longer.
Sure.
And we wait a little longer. Hooray!
Woo! I'm pissed. I always just leave one right at the fucking beginning.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
You shut up, Duke.
Okay, maybe the last one.
That one was like snuck in there. It wasn't pre-planned. They thought of the other ones.
So I'm making excuses in my mind. And bear in mind, it's freezing fucking cold in the middle of the goddamn night as we're waiting.
Right.
And we're not standing outside. We're standing just inside some doors. So it's at least not like in the wind, but it's still cold as shit.
Right.
But you can't step too far away from the doors. You can't see anything. And we wait and we wait and we watch and we watch. And it's like, even accounting for the bad weather and, going to two places and not just doing all that stuff. It's like, there's no fucking way that it shouldn't have been here already.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I have to pee. So we leave there and we go and pee, and I call the hotel again. And she's like, yeah, it should be there about 30 to 40 minutes at 2B.
Okay.
And this time she doesn't say 2G, which you remember is where we were before.
Right.
So I'm like, well, maybe there was a miscommunication. Now, when I talked to her the first time, and she said 2B or 2G, I did say, that's 2B or 2G. And she said yes. But maybe there was a miscommunication. I don't fucking know.
Right.
So we go to 2B, and we sit and we wait for a little bit, because 30 to 40 minutes.
Right.
About 10 minutes before 30 minutes is there, we go outside. We're like, we're not going to fucking miss it.
Right.
We will, because by this point, it's like almost 1:30.
Right. Buses are about to stop running.
Well, no, the shuttle buses run literally all the time.
Oh, okay.
They're owned by the hotel, so they have no incentive to ever not run them.
Oh, fair.
People want to come stay at the hotel. But yeah, so it's like 30 to 40 minutes. 10 minutes beforehand, we're standing outside. It is cold as all hell. There is snow and ice everywhere. It's fucking awful. It's super windy. I want to die. But it's fine. Once the shuttle bus gets here, it'll all be worth it.
Right. Everything's going to go your way.
So we wait 10 minutes. Now 30 minutes is past. So some time between right now and 10 minutes from now is when it's supposed to be here. So we wait 10 more minutes. Isn't there? It's like, okay, well, with the weather, could still be a problem, So we wait 10 more minutes. Now we've been outside for half an hour in this shit-ass weather, exactly where it says they swear it will come. We've seen so many shuttle buses from so many hotels. We've seen the fucking Marriott Hotel shuttle bus like 8,000 times. Still no shuttle bus from our place.
Right.
And we go back inside where we can still see from the doors. And we slowly but surely work our way back further and further away from the doors. But we can still see. We eventually make it to a seat, and we can still see 2B. So I know for a fact we're watching for it, and if it comes,
right,
we will see it.
You're in the zone.
And it doesn't show up, and it doesn't show up. And I'm messaging, or we're talking to to Ian and Casey still, and they're like, have you called the hotel again? It's like, well, what fucking good has calling the hotel been doing me? They're telling me, oh, it'll be there, and then they're not seeing it. And I forget if it was Casey or Ian, but one of them was like, maybe you should just get an Uber. Which I'd had that thought the first time when it didn't show up. But it's like, I don't want to pay for something that we should be getting for free, ideally.
Right.
And so I pull up and look to see how much it's going to cost to Uber. 5 minutes from the airport to this hotel. Mm-hmm. $50.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, that's awful. Maybe I'll look and see how much it'll cost through Lyft instead. The answer was $25. So we ended up getting a Lyft to the hotel. Okay. And we're like, maybe we saw the shuttle and we just didn't realize it.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Maybe you made some kind of error.
It's like, maybe it wasn't obvious. Because all these others, they clearly say where they're from. It's like, maybe for whatever reason, this particular hotel, theirs doesn't. No, we get there, it's sitting out in front of the hotel. Clearly marked with the name of the hotel. If we had seen that shuttle bus, we'd have fucking known it. And even while I was booking our ride with Lyft, Cranen was still looking out the fucking doors, looking for our shuttle bus.
Right.
And Ian ended up calling them for all it mattered because we were getting a different ride. But Ian called, and the lady from the hotel is like, well, he says he just left the airport. I don't know where he was, but it was not the fucking airport. I can guarantee you that. I don't believe for one goddamn second. Because you literally can't even go to the places where he picks people up.
Right.
You can't go to 2G unless you drive past 2B. And even if he didn't stop at 2B, we would have seen him drive.
Right.
And so our Lyft finally gets us to the hotel. It's like 3:15, 3:20, something like that. We go up to the front counter, and I say, we just need to check in. And she says, sorry, our system is down right now for an audit. And I don't know about you, but if I was in that situation and I was telling somebody, sorry, I can't check you in right now, our system is down, I'd follow that up with, and here is how long it will be.
Right.
Until it's not down anymore. But
basic customer service.
So I asked her, do you know about how long it will be? And she said, it should be about 20 more minutes.
Okay.
And of course, I'm absolutely, skull-crushingly furious at this point. But I managed to not say anything mean. And I just turn around and we go and we sit in the lobby. And 20 minutes passes. And she's doing other stuff, which is fine. Like, what the fuck is she going to do?
Right.
When the system isn't working anyway. So I don't have a huge issue with that. But 20 minutes passes and she's still not there. Another 5 minutes passes and she's still not there. Finally, about 10 minutes after 20 minutes, she comes back from wherever it was that she was to the counter.
Right.
And I walk up and she says, how can I help you? And I say, we need to check in.
I'd like to go to my bed now, please.
And she's so apologetic for having forgotten about us. And she's like, here, let me give you a free breakfast card.
It's always the fucking meal voucher to make everything go away.
And it's like, okay, well, at least it's the thought that counts. And so we get checked in and we go. When I laid down in my bed, it was 4 a.m. And we had to be up at 9 a.m. so that we could make it to the bus that only runs there. The bus that runs both to the airport and to where they live comes to the airport once a day, every day.
Right.
If you don't get on it,
you
don't get to go. And we wake up at 9. I'm like, well, at least we're going to get free breakfast. Well, I get to looking at it, and they're, at most hotels, it's like a continental breakfast.
Right.
You go, you pick up some assorted bullcrap breakfast foods, and then you eat it and leave.
Yes.
Well, this is not like this. This is apparently like an actual, like, vaguely legit restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Which normally would be cool.
Right.
Except for we ain't got time for that shit.
Right, you gotta fucking
and on
go.
top of that, it's only one free breakfast.
So you would have had to pay for one of you. Oh, that's fucking stupid.
And so we didn't, because we could have gotten up earlier. Not that I don't know that we would have, because it's like, would I have set my alarm for 8:30 instead to go eat breakfast? I'm not so sure. When I didn't get to bed until 4 and I was fucking tired as hell.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah. So it's like we didn't even get to use our free breakfast. And so we take the shuttle back to the airport where it actually shows up at, fortunately. And we had to hang out for just a little bit. But finally, we get on the bus so we can have our 3-hour bus ride.
Woo!
But then we finally made it and we got to have our vacation.
Hell yeah. And how was your vacation, bro?
It was okay, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, the waiting for the bus is the most exciting part.
No, it was a good vacation.
Hell yeah, brother.
Man. There were legitimately numerous points where I almost just went up to the counter at the airport and was like, I want a ticket back to Dallas, please.
I need to go home.
What's the soonest flight you have?
And if it's not right now, I have a gun. I'm from Dallas, you see.
It's kind of our thing in Texas.
Ah!
No, that shit was just fucking ridiculous.
Well, at least you made it. And at least down here, the snow only lasted for about 3 days.
True.
There's still some up where I work at, but that's just because it's a very shaded place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was still like ice in my backyard as recently as last night.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, without that direct sunlight, it holds for a little bit.
Right.
No, that shit was crazy. And they thought, because they were like, oh, it should get above freezing in just a couple of days there. So
right.
it should start melting. No, it did not get above freezing a single time at any point while we were there. And it snowed like 2 more different times. Granted, just a little bit. Not a shit ton like the first time.
Right.
But not only did none of it melt like anticipated, other than just, the regular turning into ice,
mm-hmm.
as it does. But then it got hit snow again, and then it'll snow again.
Right.
And so it was fucking awful on that end the whole time we were there. Oh,
Am I supposed to be here?
I have no idea.
I thought I was following that star.
The Pharaoh? What the fuck is he doing? Pretty sure Ty could have stopped him right there.
Yeah. Is she a feral?
God, I hope so. I would never fail. I am immortal.
This feels different-ish, so I think we're doing something new here.
Hell yeah. It's all working out.
Fuck you.
Man, speaking of working out.
Us.
I mean, not yet.
I mean, yeah, no.
Barring unforeseen circumstances, it's going to happen after. Wait, tell the people the possible problem we don't know for sure about.
Oh, yeah. So it's been like a year since we've been to the fucking gym at my apartment.
It's only been like 5 months.
It's been a while.
It's
been a while since we've been to the gym at my apartment. And since then, management has changed. So there is a very real possibility that we're going to walk up to my fucking gym and I'm going to have no fucking idea what the code to get in is.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty hyped.
Well, because like our new management people are way better at communicating. So like Elizabeth's like, no, if there was something changed, they would have told us. And I'm like, yeah, but you remember how fucked up it was after the last people left because they didn't communicate with the new people.
Right.
So I can definitely see something like a door code changing, just kind of getting lost in the shuffle because we all needed help paying our rent.
Right. Oh, for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, people having access to the amenities that are part of their lease is important because you are literally paying for them.
Right.
But it's not quite as important as making sure that the complex gets paid. I mean, at least not in the complex's eyes, for sure.
Right. I could use another explosion box, please.
Explosions are for pansies. Are you a pansy?
Yeah?
Oh.
Oh, thank God, an explosion box. Get over here.
Everybody, quick, come look.
Had to bite that one with my teeth. Probably not ideal.
Nah, nothing hurts Ty. Except for, like, whatever the fuck that guy is throwing. That would probably...
That would probably hurt just a little bit. But anyway,
Got
no.
him.
So, barring any unforeseen circumstances, such as I can't get us into the gym, or I'm just really hungry after we record and I want to go to IHOP or something.
Buffalo.
Or Buffalo.
Sponsor us. Sponsor us.
Please! But we should be getting back in the gym, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. We're gonna be jacked.
Well, I'm not. I'm
like jacked, like
I gotta get lean.
trim.
I gotta get lean so my heart stops hurting so much and scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Thus making my heart hurt more.
No, totally understandable, brother.
Oh boy.
That didn't kill that guy.
I don't think he was in range.
I suppose that will do it. Excuse me, sir?
Were you in range? Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, sir, if you could come over this way, please.
A little bit further, please.
Just a pinch.
Oh,
no! That bastard! He knew my stratagems! But he didn't know that one.
Glad it's not like instant kill like in virtually every other platformer.
No kidding. Fucked him up.
Whooped his ass!
Hit him with the combo. Why? Shouldn't you be on our team for this one? We're teaming up with Cass.
Well, yeah, but no.
Hell yeah, I have no idea what these stones do.
I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about anything, bro.
Oh boy, more go-karting?
Woo!
Demo derby.
Racing! Demolition Derby only here at On the Shelf Gaming! But not right now, next time.
Yeah, next time.